Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new scenario for Zoo Tycoon Marine Mania. This one is called, I believe, Save the Marine Animals. I'll tell you the objectives in a minute. It's a bit of a weird one, but first of all, this notification pops up the first time you load up the scenario. So it says, your first task is to save a manatee that was hit by a motorboat prop. Construct a suitable habitat and research the sea mammal rescue program. Save the manatee and the government will return it to the wild. Every time you save an animal, you receive another to care for. Invest your grant money wisely. Giving these animals a second chance is in your hands. Okie dokie. So straight away, if we actually look at the objectives, it says, Marine Mania, save the marine animals, intermediate. Congratulations, you have been appointed as the head of a state-funded animal rehabilitation project. The project is an experiment, and whether or not it continues to receive funding depends on how successfully you can save the sick and injured animals you receive. You have two main goals: to heal animals so that they can be released into the wild, and to steadily work on researching more advanced techniques for saving injured wildlife. That's it. Okay. Earn an exhibit suitability rating of at least 75 for all West Indian manatee exhibits. Research Sea Mammal Rescue Program. Earn an exhibit suitability rating of at least 80 for all beluga exhibits. Research Beluga Care Program. Earn an exhibit suitability rating of at least 85 for all manta ray exhibits. Research Oil Exposure Program. Earn an exhibit suitability rating of at least 90 for all humpback whale exhibits. Research Baby Humpback Whale Care Program. Earn an exhibit suitability rating of at least 80 for 6 exhibits. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I've been playing this game recently, but I haven't played this scenario in, like, a long time. Years. I'm also aware that this is the first time I've recorded a video for Zoo Tycoon in literal years. It's been about 6.5 years, so I guess no time like the present. Welcome back. I'm back. So our first objective, bearing in mind we have no time limit for any of this, but we only have $6,000. There's no animal happiness, guest happiness, or zoo rating requirements. Essentially, I think how this works is that we get given an animal, in this case a West Indian manatee. Once we get it to suitability of 75, it then disappears and we get a beluga. But I think we also have to research in the meantime this sea mammal rescue program. So essentially the only thing we need to research is this thing that's brand new and only appears in this scenario, which is the marine recovery. Select this program to research ways to care for injured aquatic animals. So yeah, that's the only thing we really need to be worrying about at the moment. We don't need to research any conservation at all at present. We don't have any staff members, we don't have any guests, and we only have one animal, and that's the manatee that we were donated. We will want some guests to actually turn into the zoo. Now, apparently, whether you charge anywhere from $19.25 all the way up to $29, guests basically don't notice, so essentially there's no point charging $19.25. You might as well charge $29 because it's exactly the same and you make more money. If you charge $19, it's the same as charging nothing as far as the guests are concerned. So basically we either charge $29 or we charge $19. And then the same from like $29.25 to $49. We do want some guests to turn into the zoo, but we also want to make some money. But since guest happiness also isn't a priority, we'll just stick with $29 for now. We can always change it later. Now, I've rambled on long enough. Let's bring this manatee over to this very conveniently placed tank. We might as well also destroy this stuff, because we don't really need it right now. Yeah, we don't need that aquatic restroom. We don't need these trees. Yeah, there's more trees over here. And we don't need this weird wall, or any of this foliage, or any of this stuff. And we definitely don't need any of this. I'm going to keep the paths, and I might actually keep the observation area as it is. Don't need the bin, don't need that. It just gives us a tiny bit more money, and since I'm going to be using restaurants later on anyway, I don't need bins because restaurants basically satisfy all the guests' needs and don't generate trash that would then necessitate the usage of bins. Anyway, hopefully with my $17,000 that's enough to get me going. I think also once we actually do the thing that we have to do, because we only need 75 suitability, and this tank is big enough for even like the humpback whale. But also I think it is actually a baby humpback whale, not an adult humpback whale. So this tank is actually big enough for all the rescue animals that we're ever going to need. Might have to change it to make it deeper, but that's not a problem. But I think after every animal you do get some more money to help you along. So it's not like I've got $17,000 only to do everything that I need to do. Which is very fortunate because that would be a massive, massive challenge. Anyway, let's unpause the game and then find out that this manatee requires seagrass as its foliage. It's also obviously going to need some rocks. But we don't have to massively... Oh yeah, also Control G turns on the grid, which is like a massive lifesaver in this goal. It wants a mate, but we can't adopt animals. Can't do anything about that. It also wants more animals in the exhibit, but we can't do anything about that, so just got to deal with that. Basically, just wait until we get to... I mean, we're already at 79 suitability, and I've done, like, nothing. The research will only take 7 days, so I guess in the meantime, we could... we don't want to be putting in, like, super expensive stuff that's not going to turn a profit and there's, like, no guests, but at the same time we could get, like, very cheap stuff, or we could just build a restaurant here anyway. Because all I'm thinking is that in, like, 5 days, this manatee is going to go, and, like, we're going to get a beluga. I don't know if you get animals in the meantime, like just regular animals, or if it's literally like this beluga is just instantly here once this thing researches itself. Because like I say, I haven't played this scenario in years, so I do not remember it at all. We also don't really have a very big map, but I suppose later on we only actually need 6 exhibits, so we do have enough space. And also those, presumably, exhibits can be like whatever we want them to be, so... I mean, this exhibit is terrible, but the manatee is happy, and it's 79 suitability, which is enough, so... I think basically once this thing researches anyway, this manatee is just going to disappear. There you go. Great, the manatee is healthy once again and ready for release back into the wild. The government rewards you with an additional $1,000 grant. Use it to save more animals. Okay. A beluga whale has been injured because it was stuck in a fisherman's net. Care for the beluga until it can fend for itself in the wild. You must also research the beluga care program in order to nurse the whale back to health. I mean, I think seagrass is a fairly universal foliage, so I can't imagine that any of these animals are going to have a problem with the seagrass. I swear this is not... The comedic timing of that is absolutely insane. Yeah, okay. So, seagrass turns out not liked by belugas. Belugas, on the meanwhile, like kelp. I promise that wasn't scripted. I genuinely didn't think belugas would have a problem with seagrass. But hey ho, the more you know. So here we've got to get 80 suitability and beluga care program, which will be done in 10 days. 80 suitability is actually almost done. Yes, it is very easy to get the required suitability. You see, we've already done it. The Beluga's happy, and we've got 80 suitability already. Even though there's, like, loads more that we could do. I could even get a marine specialist, but at the same time, when we only have these animals for such a short period, the tank probably isn't going to get dirty. If it does, I'll get a filter. But the animals probably won't actually get that hungry. We are getting... I'll say we're getting a fair amount of guests. I'm going to save the game. Save the marine animals. I do have a tendency to save my games too much in general, but at the same time, better to be safe than sorry. Interestingly, these goals are still met, even though we don't actually have any manatees at the moment. So it's good to know that we don't have to later on build a manatee exhibit. So yeah, basically once this beluga care program is researched, this beluga will disappear and we'll get a manta ray, then a humpback whale, and then presumably animal adoption will be free, or maybe we'll be given some animals and then we just have to build exhibits for them. But exhibit suitability of 80 is so low that there shouldn't really be an issue. The only issue could be making money. Great job caring for the beluga. You have given it a second chance at life. Again, the government rewards your efforts by donating $2,000 to the zoo. I'm starting to get the feeling, and I'm probably going to regret saying this, that this might be quite a short, quite simple scenario. But I'm probably going to regret saying that, because I said the thing about the seagrass, and then not even 10 seconds later, I found out that I was wrong about that. Okay, a manta ray that the rescuers named Mania, good name, has arrived. The victim of an oil spill, it must be nursed back to health. Place it in a suitable exhibit and research the oil exposure program in order to speed Manny's way back to the wild. Okay, so for this one we need 85 suitability. Again, very low. Because it's already at 74, and we can make that a lot higher by simply doing a bit more foliage and a bit more rocks and stuff. It wants fire coral, but I don't think we have that. Oh, there it is. So this thing will research in 14 days. Not really a problem. Just put some rocks in. Yeah, so it's already at 84 oops. It's already at 84 suitability, so. There you go, it's already at 85 suitability. So, yeah, this, this isn't difficult at the moment. The main thing is basically just don't go full overboard trying to get like 99 suitability on these exhibits and waste all your money, because you literally don't need it. You just do the bare minimum. You know, I don't need a marine specialist right now, which saves $800 a month. Because if I had to build like an exhibit for each of these animals and couldn't just reuse the same exhibit, then I literally would run out of money. But the fact that I can just reuse the same exhibit and do like the bare minimum to get to, well, 90 suitability for the humpback whale, it saves a lot of money. Also, I don't know how this is going to come out on the recording, but the way that I've got this game mixed, this game is very quiet, and I suppose that's just because there's no buildings in the zoo. So, we do have one hungry guy, and we also have 28 guests. I could build like a burger stand or something, but that would just create some trash, and then I'd have to hire a maintenance worker or build a bin or something to fix it, and then the bin would overflow, so I'd have to hire a maintenance worker anyway, and yeah. The manta ray is getting hungry, but it'll be gone soon anyway, so yeah, I mean 3 days, like. Oil exposure. Research in this program will introduce animal-specific medical services to care for animals exposed to oil spills. Makes sense. Oh, it's gone down to 84. Damn it. Okay. I don't know how exactly, but just make sure that that stays. There you go, it's 87, so I should be alright. Once again, I'm going to save the game. And now it's complaining we can't find any food. But he's gone, basically, so there you go. You are to be commended on nursing the manta ray back to health. It has been released back into the wild. This success has granted you $2,500 in additional grant money. Huey, a baby humpback whale, lost its mother to a boating collision, and Huey needs to be cared for until it can be released. Raising humpback whales in captivity is risky business, so good luck. Okay, so we're given a baby humpback whale, and straight away we don't want the seafloor cave. So this takes 20 days, which is longer, and we also need 90 suitability, correct? Yes. Okay. We're already at 82, and it's saying that it's too shallow, so... I like how I've been given that, even though I've like barely been trying. Unfortunately it doesn't come with any money, but fortunately I've done like nothing to the actual exhibit. All I've done is make it deep enough for the animal, and I'm already at 91 suitability. Yeah. I might have to buy a marine specialist at this point, because I imagine that he's probably going to be hungry and complain before these 15 days for the research are up. Actually that's a bit risky. I'll just get a bit more foliage, just to make sure for certain that he is actually going to be okay. He wants Sea Star, but I don't seem to have that. So I'm just going to go with Kelp. Oops, too much. So he's saying suitability 91, which is, 92, which is enough. Guests aren't very happy, but I could put in a restaurant and a gift shop, I suppose, because I think once this is done, we're either going to get given some animals, or we're either going to get given animals, or animals will be freely available for us to adopt, so I might as well put some stuff in just to make the guests happy. Even though, like, I know guest happiness isn't a priority, but we want to actually make a profit. And that's like the bare minimum that we really need. And both of those should make a profit? I hope. Okay, people are going to the Lobby's restaurant. The gift shop I'm not so sure about. I told you I saved the game a lot, but yeah. Like I said, we don't have any requirement for guest happiness, animal happiness, or zoo rating, which is a bit odd. We are pretty low on money, but bearing in mind that we will get $10,000 emergency donation if we go below a certain amount of money. I don't know exactly how much it is, but yeah, he's now complaining that he's hungry, but he's going to be gone in 4 days. So, unless he becomes really unhappy... I mean, his suitability is only 91. I was going to say, unless he becomes really, really unhappy... we don't need a marine specialist just yet. I don't know why the suitability dropped a point. I can only assume it's because there's no food, but that seems a bit weird, if that is the case. Quite a lot of people are using the... oh, there you go. I was going to say quite a lot of people are using the restaurant, which is good. Because obviously, we've got quite a lot of hungry, thirsty, tired, or guests that need the toilet. Unbelievable, you've successfully reared a baby humpback Huey. And he's ready to leave his habitat and be reintroduced back into the wild. Technically, I should say, you've successfully reared a baby humpback whale named Huey, because that makes it sound like we've reared a baby Huey, as though Huey is the species, but the species is the humpback whale. The government, impressed by your thriving marine park, is providing you with more animals and additional grant money. Build suitable habitats and hopefully you'll be able to rescue more animals. Yeah, so basically we've been given about 20,000 extra and some actual animals. So we don't need to research this thing anymore. We might have to research something. I've also noticed that we can't research show tricks, but obviously we're never going to do that anyway. And we also can't research endangered animals or marine animals, but that wasn't really going to happen anyway, so let's save the game. Alright, what we've got. So basically all we need to do now is create 6 exhibits with exhibit suitability of 80 and simultaneously not run out of money. But we have not a very much amount of space, not a very big map. Oh, we actually have 6 animals, and we don't have any animal adoption available. Right, well, we have a grizzly bear, a hammerhead shark, harbour porpoise, narwhal, polar bear, and red kangaroo. Okay, well, we might as well just use this exhibit, seeing as though it's already there. So, hammerhead shark, harbour porpoise, narwhal. Which of these like kelp? Sea lettuce, sea sponge, sea grass. I don't know which of these requires the biggest exhibit, to be quite honest. I think they're probably all about the same, and this exhibit is way too big. But I might as well keep it, so let's just put in the narwhal. Okay, he says 83. 83 suitability, which technically is high enough, and he seems happy enough, so... I don't like the fire coral, for God's sake. Which one's that? I have no... oh, fuck's sake. Right, there it is. It's quite a low looking foliage. Probably find out now that I picked like the worst of the creatures, and I should have picked like the hammerhead or the harbour porpoise. Oh well. Still a bit of fire coral in here that I'm not seeing. It's quite hard to see, to be honest. I was going to say I think that's all of it, but nope. Damn, I actually put in quite a lot of this stupid fire coral, and now I can't see it. There it is. Right. He wants a mate, but obviously we can't give him a mate. He needs more foliage, he wants sea lettuce, and more animals of the same type, which obviously we can't do. Marine Mania. Sea lettuce? We can't give sea lettuce, so kelp. To be fair, I don't actually have to do this. but I will need a marine specialist. Later. Right. So, yeah, people aren't really using the gift shop. Okay. Well, that's kind of annoying. Alright, never mind. Let's do polar bear next, because that might be quite expensive, but it is quite simple, if nothing else. Let's put polar bear over here. Because we're going cheap, we can make the exhibit very small. Polar bear exhibit. And I will eventually need a zookeeper. Is that big enough? Yes. Yeah, so you can make exhibits actually, like, really small for certain animals. Because you sort of look at that and you think, like, no way is that big enough for a polar bear, but it is. Right. Oh, hang on. Nope. That's convenient. He wants exactly 50-50. He will need a shelter. I mean, 80 suitability is really, really, really low. I'm probably already at 80 suitability. Oh, 79. And then just put in, like, Arctic rock. I mean, that's 80 suitability, but... yeah, he's actually saying that it's fine. Probably want to get a bit above 80, just so that they don't... just so that it doesn't, like, drop and they start complaining. Yeah, so he's hungry. The narwhal. This is a really weird scenario, but, yeah. And since zoo rating, guest happiness, etc., they're not an issue, we can just create, like, the cheapest path. So let's just go with sand path, because dirt path does look bad, but sand path looks okay. And also, it matches the sand terrain, making it extra hard to see. We will need a zookeeper, so I might as well get him now. Alright, harbour porpoise, grizzly bear, red kangaroo. Let's go with the hammerhead shark. Again, I think you can make this pretty small. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 by 5. That should be big enough. Yeah. So he wants some seagrass and a couple of rocks. Annoyingly, I can't really see what I'm doing. That's a bit better. Seagrass. Oops. So, I mean, even then, that's just like 95 suitability. I can put in a shelter as well, just so it becomes a bit happier. It's not needed, but may as well. Alright. And also, we don't actually have to research anything at all. I mean, I guess if we really, really want... oh, hang on. That's just become dirty, so let's build a filter. Or get a filter. Right, so kangaroo, bear, and porpoise. We aren't getting anyone coming to the... oh, no, I was going to say we are getting people coming to the zoo. I might have to decrease that to $19 just to make sure that people actually do come to the zoo, because, to be quite honest, like, this zoo sucks. But I'd say that's kind of the point, but I mean, we don't want the zoo to absolutely stink, We do want people to actually come to the zoo. Don't know where to build this exactly. Let's just build this here. Red kangaroo. This should be reasonably straightforward. I do believe that these don't require a very big exhibit either. This should actually be big enough. Just like that. Yeah, only having one of each animal makes this very easy. Because the exhibits are so small. And I literally need like 80 suitability. I mean, I could build like more money making things for guests. But A, I don't need to, and B, they might not actually make money. As stupid as that sounds. I mean, that's 84 suitability. Might as well just put this in. Oh, he doesn't like it. Oh, because it's from Africa. I suppose that makes sense. Alright. Wait. Those are cheaper, but those might be more efficient, I don't know. Okay, that's fine. 87 suitability. Yeah, you know, I'm not going... I know I keep saying this, but I'm not spending a lot of money on these exhibits. Alright. That is actually making a loss, so let's just increase it to $16, because guests will spend a lot of money at the restaurant. And also, to be fair, like, if you want food in this zoo, you have no choice but to go to the restaurant. If you want a drink, you have to go to the restaurant. You want the toilet, you have to go to the restaurant. The gift shop isn't making money, but I'm going to keep it anyway, I suppose. It's not strictly needed. I'll just increase it to $11 anyway. Alright. Grizzly bear and harbour porpoise, and then that's it. The bear will be quite expensive, but I can also just make the exhibit really small. Harbour porpoise, let's just put that here. And again, I don't know how big to make the exhibit, but I can't imagine that it needs to be very big. So this might actually be big enough. Yeah. It's going to be very... I mean, you can technically make, like, decent suitability with an exhibit that's way too small. But I might as well make it big enough. Okay, that's 87 suitability, that's fine. Oh, 91 suitability. That's actually too shallow. It's still too shallow. I shouldn't run out of money, but then again I might. I'm going to decrease this. Actually, we are getting quite a lot of admissions. So I was contemplating making this $19 admission fee, but we are actually making quite a lot of guests come into the zoo. It's just that the zoo kind of stinks. There's a bit more to do now. Oh yeah, the restaurant is now making money. The gift shop is technically making a small loss, but it's making a smaller loss than it was before, so it might start turning a profit. But I'm not too bothered if it does or it doesn't. Now, the only thing left to do is get exhibit suitability of 80 for this bear. I only have $7,500, but I think I will get the emergency donation, which is $10,000. And if I don't, then... oh well. That's not going to work. That's 5 by 10. There you go. I just realised I'm not actually naming these exhibits, but oh well. You know what's in them anyway, and the scenario's almost over. Alright, so... So, he's going to want some coniferous. Ooh, that's an issue. I might not have enough money to actually do this. Okay, well... where did all my money go? Ah, I had to pay, like, staff and stuff. There you go, so I've just received the emergency $10,000, which is basically going to mean that I can actually win the scenario. Alright. I don't think he wants... no, he don't want dirt, he don't want grass. It's just coniferous, deciduous, and a bit of fresh water. Terran is expensive, but it's a very easy way of making exhibit suitability, so we don't actually need to do that, but hey ho. And I think it's the yellow cedar tree that he likes. Yeah, we'll give him a shelter anyway. Let's see if I can actually find any room. I mean, we only need a small shelter, so there you go. Yeah, yellow cedar tree, and then this should be good to go. No, there you go, I've won. Normally I would put the foliage in like 2x2 to fill up the grid squares, but the fact is that I only needed 80 suitability, and the fact there was no time limit meant that as soon as I hit 80 suitability, the scenario would be won, so I wasn't actually that bothered. The $10,000 donation meant that this scenario became very simple. Without that, I'd have had to wait a bit and probably... I don't even know if this zoo is profitable. I think the whole point of this scenario is not to create a functioning zoo. I imagine this zoo isn't actually profitable. But as you saw from the scenario objectives and the fact that I've just won, that's not the point. The point is just don't run out of money and yeah, just research and like basically just do the bare minimum. I'm not really sure what the point of this scenario is because honestly this is very easy and very quick. And because there's no time limit, I don't have to wait around waiting for the scenario to end. But yeah, so we have actually won. Let's just click yes to continue playing. Pause the game, save the game, and then I will end the video here. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to do more Zoo Tycoon. I'm aware that obviously I've not done it for like 6 years. But consider this hopefully the first video of a return. Hopefully it won't be 6 years before I do another video. So, yeah, the next scenario is another intermediate Marine Mania scenario. I forget exactly what it's called or what you have to do, but we'll find out in the next video. Take care, folks. Have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is, whatever that is. And be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, blah blah blah, yada yada, end. Bye!